guys, it's your boy Alex, and we are back at it again with another reaction video once again. And today, I finally managed to find this video that my good buddy Storm Shadow wanted me to react to. It took me, like, a while to find this video because I couldn't legit find the video he was talking about. And there was, like, multiple videos that had kind of, like, the same title. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a look at a video that he requested called Is a Hot Dog a Sandwich? And it's basically a video food theory. Yeah. Weird idea for me to react to, but hey, first time for everything, I guess. So, no special intro. We're just gonna jump straight in because, again, it took me a while to find the video, so let's just dive right in. Okay, well, we're just now starting in Hogwarts, I guess. Doesn't really help out what this video is, but let's just get started anyway. So, without further ado, let's take a look at... Oh, sorry, I accidentally hit that and I broke the illusion there for a second because there was a sound going off on Discord, so apologies. But anyway, let's not waste any time and jump right into Is a Hot Dog a Sandwich? So, start the video in 3, 2, 1... let's go. Did not mean to break the illusion there for a second because Discord was popping off like crazy. I mean, again, when you're in so many like different groups, messages will just pop off like super quick. But anyway, let's just finally get this started. And I'm hoping that this is the right video.
Difficult. What to do with you?
That voice sounds very familiar though.
Sandwich house. And it would be absurd to place you in Taco House. I guess you'll join Hufflepuff.
Okay. Of course he would be in Hufflepuff. Wait. Is this a MatPat video? I did not expect that. I didn't know MatPat did videos on food.
Welcome to Food Theory, where we show you how the sausage gets made, and then we show you how it's classified. If there's one food...
Okay, I see what you did there.
Summertime celebrations, it's the hot dog. If the sun's out, buns are out. And you'll find Americans buying them, grilling them, and cheering on professional eaters as they consume impossible amounts.
Yeah.
Americans
used a lot in hot dog eating competitions.
Bun, but I'll be darned if Americans weren't the first to put a wiener on a bun, which is all we need to do to lay claim to the invention of the hot dog. When hot dogs first came onto the scene in 1860s New York,
yeah. It's safe to say that, to be fair, that the hot dog was, like, mostly a American creation, where, as other things, you know, like pizza, spaghetti, tacos, all that stuff was invented in other countries. But Americans just took it as their own, basically. So, yeah.
I mean, when you get
why was Quagmire there?
Is it a sandwich? Is it technically a taco? Or is a hot dog its own thing altogether? Where
gosh.
in the food classification diagram does this
I think that does bring up a question.
This might seem
do you guys eat hot dogs with mustard or ketchup? Let me know in the comment section down below.
First came onto the scene, and the debate is only picking up steam in the internet age. People are arguing about it on Reddit, on Twitter. People are making alignment charts about this issue, for crying out loud. If you ask me, an argument of this level of importance calls for a ruling from the highest court in the land, the U.S.
That little smile of MatPat's.
2018, when Stephen Colbert talked to the notorious RBG, that's Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I'm sorry, what?
Tell me what a sandwich is, and then I'll tell you if a hot dog is a sandwich.
2 pieces of bread with almost any type of filling in between, as long as it's not more bread.
On your definition, yes it is.
Circular.
This was a real thing?
At all. Ruth is essentially saying a hot dog is a sandwich if you define sandwich in a way that would describe a hot dog. Which means it's back in our hands, folks. The common people. The people who today are gonna have to dig a little bit deeper if we want to get to the doggone truth once and for all. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Right off the bat, it's important to recognize it's the definition of sandwich that's so difficult to pin down here, not the definition of hot dog. Hot dogs aren't complicated. We all know what a hot dog is. It's A, a wiener, B, laid lengthwise on a bun, and C, the wiener is filled with something resembling meat that no one can ever entirely vouch for. Furthermore, the
oh gosh, no.
assertively stepped
Did
up
not need to see that spider. fire. Oh gosh.
Hot dog etiquette. According to the National Hot Dog and Sausage
Also,
Council,
nice
and I must
usage
say,
of
I'm surprised
Paul Blart
and
Mall
comforted
Cop
to
there.
learn such an authoritative body exists. Mustard, relish, onions, cheese, and chili.
Oh,
are all
gosh,
acceptable meat
relish.
items. And that's the end of the list. Ketchup is not on that list. Mayo is definitely
No!
not on that list. So there you have it.
I would
folks.
draw the
Hot
line
dog
there.
comes
I would
with clear
never
guidelines,
put mayo on
definitions,
anything.
rules of etiquette,
I don't even
some
like. I
strong
don't
and
like mayo.
strangely decisive leadership from the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council. But when it comes to the world of sandwiches,
Also, the
guys,
fact that there was something called a
the
National
freewheeling
Hot Dog and
sandwich community is
Sausage
leaderless
Council.
and rudderless. Now,
Just keep that in mind. That is something that apparently existed. And I didn't even know about it.
Sandwich Council of America, but these wannabes ain't moving the needle anytime soon. The National Sandwich Council of America's Facebook profile, and yes, they have a profile as opposed to a proper branded page, has exactly 122 likes. They last posted in 2014 and to date have received 3 likes for their efforts, which is so frustrating to me because the world is desperate for someone in this world to seize control and expertly guide the
What
sandwich
is
narrative the same
happening?
way that the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council over there has done for hot dogs. But alas, the National Sandwich
Sorry.
Council of America appears to have
Oh
lost
my
their Facebook
gosh.
password and my remaining respect. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, who needs an organization to do any of this? I can define a sandwich no sweat. I know what a sandwich is. To which I say, do you? Do you? Do you really? Sure, it's a bunch of ingredients, usually meat, cheese, and/or vegetables, between 2 slices of bread, and that's all fine and dandy.
I think
But
that's-
what about
you're forgetting the
pizza
tomato.
sandwiches, where you just spread peanut butter and jelly on a single slice of bread and eat it like a piece of toast. And if simply spreading something on a slice of bread makes it a sandwich,
think it would just
does that
be
mean that when I
toast
butter my
if it's an
toast in the
open-faced
morning, that I'm
sandwich.
making an open-faced butter sandwich? By that logic, is a pizza an open-faced sandwich?
I'm sorry,
with
what?
toppings? What if I have meat, cheese, and lettuce, but smush them between 2 hamburger buns, or 2 halves of a bagel, or 2 tortillas? Is a quesadilla a sandwich?
I mean,
Is
yeah.
a chicken wrap a sandwich? Is a taco
I guess.
a sandwich? Is the KFC double down in which the bread is swapped out for 2 pieces of fried chicken?
I
That's
wanted to
American
forget
food
that
in
existed.
America. A sandwich. So I
Yeah, that
think
is
I'm
the
trying
most
to
American thing that was, like, ever
slippery
made.
slope. A
Way to go,
slope, if
KFC.
you will. Granted, sandwich is a broad term, and a lot of variations are meant to fall under its umbrella, but there's no sandwich council stepping up to offer definitive answers as to what exactly that umbrella covers. Since Supreme Court justices are punting on the issue, it's going to take some footwork to hunt down the authoritative definition of sandwich. Once we have the proper definition of sandwich, then, and only then, will we be able to answer the question that gnaws at us, driving me mad. Us.
so
The
angry
question
about
that's
it.
driving us mad, is a hot dog a sandwich? Given that the hot dog is an all-American creation, we should check to see if hot dogs meet America's own definition of a sandwich. Time to go straight to the source, the U.S. Department of Agriculture. These are guys who know their stuff when it comes to foodstuffs. According to Mark Wheeler, who works in food and safety at the USDA, quote, a sandwich is a meat or poultry filling between 2 slices of bread, a bun, or a biscuit. And
I have to
that
question
definition
that.
comes from the USDA's Food Standards and Labeling Policy Book. But that doesn't mean I'm happy about it. So, I have a couple issues with
The
this
fact that
whole
this
quote.
statement just
Folks,
says
I'm over here
meat
trying
or
to determine if a
poultry.
hot dog is a sandwich.
You
Meanwhile,
do realize
USDA over
poultry
there
is
putting out
also a
big
type of
phrases
meat,
like,
right?
A sandwich is a meat or poultry filling. Really, USDA? Meat or poultry?
There, even MatPat
Poultry,
figured it out.
Domestic fowl like chicken or turkey, duck, geese, pheasant, if you want to get all fancy, is already included in the definition of meat. Not all meat is poultry, but certainly all poultry is meat. You shouldn't need to specify meat or poultry because poultry is already included in the definition of the word meat. And are we just going to gloss over the fact that their definition of sandwich doesn't allow for the existence
So that's
of
already a
sandwiches
bullcrap
without
statement right
meat
there.
or poultry? Sorry, vegetarians. According to the USDA, anything that you could eat is, by definition, not a sandwich. The schoolyard lunch classic of pizza.
Yeah, I'm already was, like, doubting that, like, quotation they had. Because, again, poultry is technically meat, so it's safe to say not to trust anything the USDA says about any quotation or anything. Again, don't take my word for it. That's just me, like, looking at that and thinking, I need to question that a bit. I need to question that just a little bit. Just a bit. I'm also going to fix this camera while it's going on, so, yeah, give me a second. There we go.
I'm beginning to feel like the powers that be don't want this all-important question to be answered. But
And
hey,
may my head
that's
be
just
plucked of
a
all but
theory,
3
a
hairs.
conspiracy theory.
Oh,
Really,
gosh.
though, is hot dog classification just a joke to these people? Because I'm over here taking it
A
very
conspiracy.
seriously.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not
Very
going to do that.
seriously.
What he
Are you taking
does.
it too seriously? At any rate, by the USDA's definition, a hot dog is, in fact, classified as a sandwich. sandwich. But more importantly, it turns out that the USDA might not be the most.
I mean,
authoritative
if you're really going to trust that quotation and say that's a reliable source to say that a hot dog is a sandwich, then we got some problems here, bud.
Products that don't include meat, poultry, or egg are under the jurisdiction of the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA,
Okay.
and not the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So this explains why the USDA's definition seemed so meat-centric. It's also an important reminder when you ask for definitions.
Hard to read half of that when you're like, when it's near a red background.
Meat, and they'll probably give you a definition that only cares about the cases involving meat. Though I do have to take issue with the fact that the U.S. Department of Agriculture doesn't
course.
include egg salad sandwiches in their definition of sandwich, despite the fact that eggs are supposedly also one of their things.
Geez, they're on my nose.
Clearly, if we want a definition that includes non-meat matters, like that classic grilled cheese that we all know should qualify as a sandwich, we should seek out a better source of information. Sorry for doubting your sandwich.
Well, that's not good. Sorry, I accidentally hit that.
Maybe we should pull our definition from an
I did not mean to do that, I'm sorry.
Broader, not someone who's so laser focused on meat. Let me think.
Laser eye pinpoint accurate on the meat. Is that meat? Oh, it must be meat. Oh my gosh. That's terrifying.
Car, they'll tax the street. You try to sit, they'll tax your seat. You get too cold, they'll tax the heat. And if you take a walk, they'll tax your feet. Now,
so we're bringing a Beatles song into this equation now?
My footsies when filing my taxes. But here's something that's not an exaggeration. New York State has a document titled Tax Bulletin ST 835. What is considered a sandwich? And remember, New York is where the hot dog was invented, so I'm definitely curious to know where they landed.
So we might be getting somewhere.
If you're wondering why the Department of Revenue would be concerned with the legal definition of a sandwich, it mostly comes down to the fact that while the state taxes prepared food, like what you get from a restaurant, it doesn't have a sales tax for unprepared foods that you buy at a grocery store. McDouble, McChicken, both taxed. Uncooked hamburger and chicken patties from the frozen food section at your grocery store are not taxed. In short, buying food ingredients isn't supposed to carry a tax, but that changes when you get into prepared food, which some grocery stores do sell. And the state wants to make sure that whenever you pick up a pre-made sandwich, it's labeled as such.
But to be fair, you still would get taxed for it with any other item that you purchase at the grocery store. Because again, taxes.
This does mean that there's a loophole in the tax code. A sandwich is taxed, but the same ingredients, if separated, are not taxed. One home delivery service took advantage.
Man, I think that would technically count as a sandwich, but I don't see when you're.
The wrap, they would provide customers with the tortilla, some chicken, and vegetables, and then let them assemble it themselves.
Huh?
Turns out they got away with it too. The state ruled that they didn't have to pay the tax for prepared food.
I'm sorry, but
they were just selling it.
That just seems like a bad management decision.
That loophole too, because it turns out a chicken tortilla.
You would lose money like fast if you just like, here, we brought you. We didn't bring you a sandwich. We brought you the ingredients to make the sandwich. Have fun. You would lose customers and income so fast.
In wraps or otherwise, and regardless of the filling or the number of layers. Now that is a pretty broad definition. That's a definition that again encompasses hot dogs. But here's the thing: according to the state of New York, a burrito is also a sandwich. And since this definition,
but the only layer on a hot dog is the hot dog itself, unless you would count the condiments too.
Applies regardless of the number of layers, which means that an open-faced sandwich is a sandwich. So is a bagel with cream cheese a sandwich?
I guess you would count the condiments then.
Sandwich? Yes. Heck, by this definition, a pizza is a sandwich. When left
again, I don't see pizza as a sandwich.
Can go completely off the rails. According to one tax regulation in the state of Colorado, quote, sandwiches are defined as single-serving items such as hamburgers, hot dogs, frozen pizzas, burritos, chicken wings, etc.
Really go on I feel like the name of the video should have been, is pizza a sandwich? Because he keeps bringing pizza up.
A chicken wing is not a sandwich. I don't know, maybe those.
Yeah, there's also that fact.
After all. Maybe I
Why put chicken wings in that category? Okay, it's safe to say we're not going to trust anything that this is saying.
Again, we need to consider the source where our definition is coming from. It behooves the USDA to focus on meat when defining a sandwich.
Back with them again, I guess.
Enough revenue to define anything as a sandwich because more taxes mean that they get to collect more money. Gotta say, I'm feeling a bit like Goldilocks right now. I found a definition that's too narrow. I found one that's too broad. Now I want one that's just right. But who to trust? Which individuals or organizations out there are most in tune with how real people are using the term sandwich in real life? Me, I'm thinking restaurants. After all, you can define the the word sandwich however you want in legalese when it comes to writing tax law, apparently to the point of including chicken wings in your definition of sandwich. But if you put chicken wings on the
No,
menu and call it a sandwich, real-life customers aren't going to
Don't make chicken wings a thing as a sandwich.
Restaurants do business even better. Fortunately, that ruling
That's just
came from a
stupid.
court in Worcester County, Massachusetts. If you're wondering how something like this goes to court, the story goes a little something like this. Shopping centers often have agreements with restaurants that operate in that shopping center that they won't lease out space to restaurants of the same type. The basic rationale for this is that if two Italian restaurants open right next to one another, they'll just end up competing each other out of business, which is bad for the restaurants and also bad for the shopping center.
I actually did not even know that's a thing.
The restaurant that goes out of business. On top of that, it's nice for the regular shoppers if they have more dining options when they visit. Imagine going to a food court and all they got.
I mean, nowadays with like
Nothing against Chinese
a
food,
food
but
court,
a little
you
bit
would
more
see
variety.
like multiple
Anyway,
sandwich
two similar
shops.
Restaurants opening in the same shopping center would be a lose-lose-lose for everyone involved, which is why a Massachusetts Panera location
Okay.
had an agreement with the shopping center that the Panera would be the only sandwich place in that center. No Subway, no Quiznos. Essentially, Panera had a monopoly on the sandwich rights to that shopping center. Things got a bit sticky though when a Qdoba tried to
Uh-oh.
The
Some
owners
competition
of Panera
rolled up.
claimed that having a Qdoba restaurant next door would violate their lease agreement. Somehow, a Mexican restaurant serving burritos was seen by the Panera owners as a threat to their sandwich monopoly. Now, I think a lot of us would say, of course Qdoba isn't a sandwich place, they serve tacos and burritos. But as we've just seen, according to tax boards across the land, the definition of the word sandwich often includes things like wraps and burritos. So, was Qdoba infringing on Panera's turf by trying to sell tortillas filled with beans, rice, and meat? Well, that ended up being settled in court. Like any good court case, expert witnesses were called in to testify.
Are you serious?
Decision. One of those witnesses was Cambridge chef and food writer Christopher Schlesinger, who said, quote, "I know of no chef or culinary historian who would call
They're
a
doing the
burrito a
whole
sandwich. Indeed, the
Ace
notion
Attorney
would be
Phoenix
absurd
Wright
to
thing.
incredible
Oh my
chef or culinary
gosh.
historian," end quote. And the judge, Justice Jeffrey A. Locke,
I just kind of want to forget the fact that, like, I just kind of want to think that this didn't happen. But apparently it did happen in America. There was a court case of two competing restaurants against each other in a food court. Oh my gosh. You know this kind of thing, like, where you feel like this is a meme that the internet would make, but it turns out the meme is real? Oh my gosh, it's so ridiculous to think that this actually happened. Oh my gosh, that might be like the biggest laugh I've gotten out of this video. Oh. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep my eyes open because I wanted to wake up at 7 today before I record this video, but that wasn't a possibility.
Quoting the justice himself, the New Webster Third International Dictionary describes a sandwich as two thin pieces of bread, usually buttered, with a thin layer as of meat, cheese, or savory mixture spread between them. Under this definition, and as dictated by common sense,
You're really
this
bringing the
implies that
Webster's
term sandwich
dictionary
is
into
now
a court
commonly
case.
understood to include
A court
burritos,
case
tacos,
that
and
by
quesadillas.
itself sounds
And
ridiculous.
as for hot dogs, according to the definition acknowledged by the court, a hot dog is, drumroll please, not a sandwich. A hot dog
Okay.
does not have two pieces of bread. It has one. That piece of bread is not typically buttered. The layer of meat.
Well, I get
in
the
a hot
feeling
dog
that
is
some people
not
in the
thin.
comments
It's
section of this
thin. A hot
video
dog
are
wiener
gonna
does not
disagree
get
with this
spread
theory, with
across
this like
the bread.
verdict.
So there you have it, friends. A ruling from the Massachusetts Superior Court. Stamp this hot take food theory certified fresh. Hot dogs are not sandwiches. They're their own all-American thing. And Panera didn't appeal the court case either, so the matter remains settled.
I was gonna say that the
So,
condiments wouldn't
because
count
keep in mind,
as
the
like
judge
any
cited
extra
the dictionary
layers.
Definition of a sandwich. Dictionaries change every year to reflect the way that we use language. The word emoji and meme weren't in the Merriam-Webster dictionary 10 years ago, and now they are. Along with other words like jegging. Remember that short-lived fashion trend? I don't, but the dictionary does.
is
The
a
judge
weird,
also
weird
cited
word.
common sense, which is another thing that changes over time. After all, common sense used to say that lots of grains were the foundation of any healthy diet. Remember that food pyramid that we were all taught back in school? And now most diet advice warns us against the
Okay.
dangers of having too many carbs. The point is, if the definition of a sandwich is going to be based on things like the dictionary definition, which is based on how people use language and common sense,
It probably will change in
the
about like
definition of what is or isn't a
I don't know
sandwich could
how many
change
the
Growing
years it will
as a
take for them to
society,
change the
collectively
meaning
decide
of it.
The old definition is obsolete. Language is a democracy. If enough people decide that a word means something, the dictionaries update.
All right, there you have it, guys. That was my reaction to apparently Matt Pat's food theory video on is a hot dog a sandwich. That is actually surprising. I did not expect to get like a big laugh out of the last few moments. Just to think that like a court case between two competing restaurants from a food court, nonetheless, went to court. Just the fact that that exists. But yeah, Storm Shadow, if you're watching this, or I'm sorry if I got your name wrong. Again, I was trying to wake up more at 7, but again, that was not a possibility because my body was just like, no, you need more rest before you do anything. Go back to sleep. It was something like that. But again, Shadow, I do hope that like this was the right video that I found. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're watching this video. And with that being said, thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell to never miss a video. And with that, I will see all you awesome guys and gals later. Bye-bye!